Hello and welcome back to a brand new video, and in this video I will be showing you how to make a Five Nights at Freddy's texture using only nodes in Blender. So first you want to get your model, and I'm just going to use a sphere because it's easy to demonstrate with, and I'm going to give it a material. So first thing you want to do is delete the principled BSDF because you don't need that for this. And now you want to import in a color ramp, and this will be basically what controls how hard you want the darker parts of the texture to be and how hard you want the lighter parts to be. Now you add a noise texture and just plug the factor into there, and then you can see you already have something, but it's not nearly what we are looking for. So just increase the scale to however you like. You can make it really high and get a lot, or really low and get not many. I'm just going to put it on about like 17. 17's good. And you can also increase the detail, make it just look like blobs, or you can make it super highly detailed. Try to make it highly detailed, but not too high detailed, that it'll make your render very slow. And just make the roughness slightly higher so you can see more detail there. And on the color ramp, you just click on the white areas and change the color to whatever color of the FNAF texture you are going to go for. I'm going to make a Freddy kind of a texture, so I'll make it like a brownish color. And then you already see that it's a lot better than before, and I'll just add in an Hdri. So now that I have the Hdri, always make sure to turn on transparent in the film areas in the scene settings, so you don't see the background, but you still get the environmental lighting. You can change whatever you want. If you want it to be darker, you can get a forest, but I'm going to leave it here for now. So, go back to your model, whatever model you're using, and select the black one and make it slightly higher in contrast, and then make it whatever color you want. As you see, when I move it around, it isn't changing very much, and that's because it's very low. If you were to turn it up really high, you would see the changes very well. So keep it something low, but not too low that you can't see it at all. So I'm just going to put it at about there. That looks good. And now you want to put in a mix RGB right here. And make sure to plug the color into color 1 and not color 2. Now in color 2, make this color darker, and again put it to whatever color you're going for. And this basically changes the hue of it. So if you want to change the hue but not the color, you can change it with the mix RGB. I'll put it at about here and make it a bit brighter. And you can change the factor too to make it very low or very high. And I'm going to put it about the middle area. You don't need it perfect. And now I'm going to put in a bump, and what this is going to do is basically make it pop out. So plug the normal into displacement. If you plug it into surface, it'll look really weird, so don't plug it into surface, but displacement. And now the color here, make sure that it stays in surface, and as you see, it doesn't change anything right now, and that's what this node is going to be for, the subsurface scattering. Now, when you plug this in, you can see not only the subsurface scattering, but also you can see the bump map a lot easier. So over here in the bump map, you can change these settings here, distance, all of that, and I'm going to keep it like about there. And then in the subsurface scattering, you can change the radius, which you can see allows you to see the bump map a lot better, and same thing with the negative. Keep it at something low so it's not too highly bumpy but not too blurry either. So keep it at around 1.6 is good, and do some at a similar number for the other ones. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but something like this is good. And you can see the middle is slightly more blurry than the edges, and that is a good thing because that shows that the bump map is working correctly, because the middle should appear like it's popping out more than the other areas, and that is why it looks slightly more blurry. Now you can change this to however you would like, but you won't be able to see it very well in the viewport, and if you render it, you can see it a lot better. Now this is a very simple FNAF texture. You can always add a second noise texture over it to make it look even better, but for now, since this is a beginner's tutorial, this is the final result. Looks pretty good, and make sure you're in rendered view so it looks better. So yeah, that is the tutorial on how to make a FNAF texture, and you can always change it by changing these colors here, or you can add another one here. Oh, and something I almost forgot. With this, you can affect how hard you want the edges to be. I think I already mentioned that. I just didn't show. So I'm going to keep it fairly low, but not too low that you can't see it. So yeah, that is the tutorial. Hope you have a good day. These are the nodes. You can copy this, and bye.